The story of Tam O'Shanter. When Chapman Billies lay the street, and drouthy neebors meet, as market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tak the gate, while we sit bowsing at the nappy and getting fou and unco happy. We think na the lang Scots miles, the mossies, waters, slaps and stiles, that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky sullen dame, gathering her brows like a gathering storm, and nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truthful, honest Tam O'Shanter, is he for airy night did canter, all there, whom ne'er a tune surpasses, for honest men and bonny lassies. Oh, Tam hadst thou been sae wise as ta'en their ain wife Kate's advice. She told her well there was a skellum, a blethering, blustering, drunken blellum, that fae November till October, market night thou wasna sober. But ilka melder with a miller, thou sat as long as thou had siller, that every nag was cad a shoeing, the smith and thee get roaring fooing. But at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank wi' cup and jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou would be found deep drowned in Doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the murk by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Ah, gentle dames, garsna great, to think how mony counsels sweet, how mony lengthed saged advice as the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale, market night, Tam had get planted unco right, fast by an ingle blazing finely, with reaming swats that drank divinely. And at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient trusty drouthy crony, Tam loved him like a very brother. They'd been fou for weeks together. The night drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye, the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours secret, sweet and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without might rear and rustle, Tam didn't mind the storm a whistle. Care mad to see a man sae happy, he'd drowned himsel among the nappy. His bees flee hame with lades of treasure, the minutes wind their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills o' life victorious. The pleasures are like poppies spread, ye seize the flower its bloom is shed, or like the snow falls in the river, a moment white then melts forever, or like the borealis race that flit ere ye can point their place, or like the rainbow's lovely form, vanishing amid the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide, the hour approaches, Tam maun ride. That hour o' night's black arch, the keystane, that dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and sick a night he taks the road in as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twould blow its last, the rattle and shivers rose in the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed. That night a child might understand the deal that does business on his hand. Wheel mounted on his grey mare Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelp on through the dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his good blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering around him with prudent cares lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirkalawa was drawing nigh, where ghasts and hoolits nightly cry. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smoored, and past the birks in the meikle stain, where drunken Charlie brak his neck bane, through the winds and by the cairn, where hunters fun the murdered bairn, and near the thorn aboon the well, where Mungo's mother hanged hersel. Before him Doon pours all her floods, the doubling storm roars through the woods, the lightnings flash from pole to pole, near and more the thunders roll. Then, glimmering through the groaning trees, Kirkalawa seemed in a blaze. Through ilka bore the beams were glancing, and the round resounding mirth and dancing. Inspiring John Barleycorn, what dangers thou can make us scorn. Wi' tippenny, we fear nae evil. Wi' Ushkaba, we'll face the devil. The swats say reamed in Tammy's noddle. Fair play, he cared nae deals at boddle. But Maggie stood right stare astonished. till by the heel and hand admonished, she ventured forward on the light, and wow, Tam saw an uncle's sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance, but nae cotillon bent new for France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspies and reels, but life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in the shape of beast. A towsy tyke, brack, grim and large, to gie him music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and he gart them skirl till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that shawed the deed in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slight each in its called horn held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes and gibbet airns, twa span lang wee unchristened bairns. A thief new cut it for rape, wi' his last gasp as gab the gape. 5 tomahawks wi' blood red rusted, and 5 scimitars wi' murders crusted. A garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, whom his ain old son of life bereft, the grey hairs yet stacked to the heft. 3 lawyers' tongues turned inside out, wi' lies seemed like a beggar's clout. 3 priests' hearts rot and black as muck, lay stinking vile in every nook. As Tammy glowered, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew. They reeled, they set, they crossed, they cleek it, till ilka carlin swat and reek it, and kissed her duddies tear a wark and link it into in her sark. Now Tam, had they been queens, plump and strapping in their teens, and their sarks instead of creasy flannin had been snow-white 1700 linen. Their breeks of mine, my only pair, aince were plush, I got blue hair, I would have gi'en them off my hurdies, for ae blink of they bonny birdies. But whether beldams, old and droll, rig woody hags that had speen a foal, louping and flinging on a crummock, I wonder didn't turn thy stomach. But Tam kenned what was fu brawly. There was wensome witch and Wally that night enlisted on the core, lang after kenned on Carrick shore, for mony a beast to dead she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and bear, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark o' paisley harm that, while a lassie she had worn, in longitude though sairly scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. Ah, little kenned I, Reverend Granny, that sark she coughed for her wee nanny, with 2 pun Scots was all riches, would ever ha' graced a dance of witches. But here my muse, her wine-mon cur, sick flights are far beyond the power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang, a supple jade she was and strang, and how Tam stood like hen bewitched, and thought his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidged fu fain, and hotched and botched wi' might and main, till first they cape her sign another. Tam tint his reason all together, and roars out, "Well done, cutty sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied when out the hellish legion sallied, as bees bizz out wi' angry fyke when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussies mortal foes when pop she starts before their nose. As eager runs the market crowd when "Catch the thief" sounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow wi' mony an eldritch screech and hollow. Oh Tam, you'll get thy faring, and hell they'll roast thee like a herring. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate will soon be a woeful woman. Now do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and win the keystane of the brig. There at the end thou might tail me toss, a running stream the Derny cross. But ere the keystane she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake, for Nanny, far before the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle. But little was she Maggie's mettle, spring brought off her master hale, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin caught her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. The Horace tale of truth shall read, ilk man and mither's son take heed. Whene'er to drink you're inclined, or cutty sarks run in your mind, think, ye may buy the joys o'er dear. Just remember, O'Shanter's mare.